Well, hello, welcome to another video. My name is Jacqui and I am a graphic designer who just loves teaching business owners how they can create their own incredible brand and graphics. And so today I want to give you the couple of really important key things that you need to remember when you're creating a social media post. I'm not going to go into carousels, I'm not going to go into reel covers, I'm just going to go for a static post on Instagram and how you can design it to the best of your ability. And so let's get into it. Firstly, the size you're going to want to do in your Instagram is a portrait size post. Canva can do landscape, can do square, but it can do portrait, and portrait size is amazing because it's taller. I'm going to show you now. So all you need to do is go to create a design, press Instagram, or just type in Instagram, and then go to portrait. You'll see that this post is a little bit taller than your classic square. It also means that you're taking up more space when someone is scrolling, but there is some really important things that you need to know when designing a post like this, and I'm going to show you that in this tutorial. And so first thing we need to think about is, what the heck am I designing? What am I going to be sharing with my audience? Am I going to be doing a testimonial post? Am I going to be doing a quote post? Am I going to be advertising a service, or I'm going to be getting to know me? Anything at all, and make sure that you've got a clear decision around what the content is going to be so you can design accordingly. For this post, I'm going to do a tip post that's going to give you 3 tips to using something in particular. I'm not going to do proper content in here. And the best place to start when doing any single design is the templates section. You don't have to buy fancy templates anywhere. You don't have to start from scratch. You can literally go to the template section and find thousands of templates there. There are more templates available if you have Canva Pro, but if you don't have Canva Pro, it's totally okay. There are still plenty of options for you. So for me, I'm just going to pop in here 3 tips. I'm going to type that in and see what pops up here. You can see that there's some designs that are coming up that kind of have, like, they're broken into different sections. What is really important to remember is that, one, a social media post should be visible and viewable from your grid. It needs to be really obvious what you're sharing from your grid, so when someone comes to your grid for the first time, they can get a bit of a sense of the kind of content that you're sharing. If you're sharing tips on how to use Canva, for example, for me, I want it to be really obvious when someone comes to my grid that they can see, oh, she's sharing help on Canva, I want to follow her. And so make sure it's really obvious, at least a little bit from a distance. You also want to make sure that it's really branded to your branding. I'm going to get into that. And you also need to make sure that it's really clear just from someone actually just looking at your graphics. You don't want it to be too busy, too much content, text too small, text unreadable, all these different things. And so for me, I'm just going to do 3 tips. So I want to share 3 different ideas. So I'm going to scroll these templates here and try to find something that either matches my branding or matches the kind of content that I want to share. For me, I'm actually going to do this one here. Now, there's a lot of things wrong with this post and I can't wait to unpack them with you. Firstly, there is too much text here. If you want to do this much text, I recommend splitting this over a carousel post where you've got 1 point per slide. If not, then just kind of put more information into the caption instead. But for me, I'm actually just going to delete this subtext here and just have everything kind of in this kind of heading text here, and I'm going to expand on it more in the caption. But what's really bad here is actually, if you were to post this onto your Instagram, it would look really great when someone's scrolling their feed, but as soon as someone goes to your Instagram, there's going to be parts that are cut off. That's because when someone looks at your grid, it still crops to a square even though you've posted a portrait size post. So to fix this, first what I want you to do is go to File. I want you to go to Settings and Show Rulers and Guides. This brings up those little rulers on the top and on the sides. Now I want you to go to Elements and I want you to find the little square. Press square, or you can just press R on your keyboard and it will insert a square. Then I want you to grab this square and put it right up to the edge of your design. Hold down Shift on your keyboard and grab the bottom part of it and drag it out so it becomes a full square that's the full width of your design. The goal of this is for us to visualize where the grid is going to crop off our design. So next I'm going to grab this square and drag it up until that little pink solid line comes in. Hasn't come up for me yet. Ready? There it is. You see that pink solid line that's popping through the middle of my circle, my square there? My square there, that's going to show me that it's perfectly centered in the design. I'm now going to go to the rulers up here and drag a ruler down here and drag a ruler down here, and I'm going to then delete my square, and you'll see here that there's little purple guides on my design now that are showing me where a grid will crop this to. And so these designs, these rulers won't pop up on your final design. It's just there for your reference. But we can see here that this heading and this box here are just far too close to the edges. It's going to feel really cramped when I'm actually posting to my grid and looking at that grid perspective. And so that's a general tip for design in general, is keep your designs away from the edges. Keep your designs open and airy. There's 1,000 reasons I could go into this, but I'm keeping this tutorial short. Now I'm just going to grab my mouse down here and drag it so it goes over every single element of this design. Then I'm going to grab the little circle tool up here and bring it down so it's not quite so close to the edges here. All right, that's much better. It feels a little bit more open now. If I was to take the rulers away, I'm just pressing Shift R on my keyboard to preview with and without. But it's looking a lot better in terms of where it's going to be cropped to on my grid. Next up, I want to start applying my own branding to this. So if you've thought through your branding, this step's going to be really easy for you. If you have not yet, please think through your branding first. This means deciding on your brand colors, your brand fonts, and your brand style. You're going to see how easy it is for me to apply my brand to this because I've made those decisions already. If you need help working out your branding, I would love to help you. I have a free 3-part video series called Seriously in Business Challenge, where you can watch 3 20-minute videos, and it's going to help you to think through your own branding for your own business and make those decisions. So this stage of actually designing is a lot easier. You can just go to DIYdesignmybiz.com/seriously challenge, and you'll be able to see the challenge there. Pop your email in and I'll send you the first video straight away, and you can binge them all, or you can just watch one a day. All right, so once you've decided your branding, you can then go into what I've got in the brand hub for me, and you can see I've got my brand colors here. If I just press shuffle, it's going to instantly apply my brand colors to this, or I can keep pressing shuffle and it's going to keep on applying, and I can keep on seeing which version of this I like. For me, I do this a little bit differently because I've got some background textures I'm going to add in, but it's a really great place to start. So I'm just going to go to maybe around here, and then I'm going to work from there. All right, next I'm going to go to my brand elements. So you can save your brand elements and textures and backgrounds inside this folder down here of graphics. I haven't done that because I already had it set up prior to Brand Hub being created. So for me, I'm going to go to my own folder here, and you can see here I've got lots of different brand elements. So I've got some backgrounds here that I love to use. I'm going to drag that in and pop it here. You don't have to do this. You can just do a flat color or find whatever you use your branding background. And for me, I like to just make this a little bit more transparent so it's not fighting too much with the content. All right, now we're good to go. So next thing up is we're going to change our brand fonts. So if you don't know what your brand fonts are, make sure you've decided that. I've actually just uploaded another video all about choosing your right brand fonts, so I'll link that here. Next you go to here. So I'm going to just change this text. I'm going to leave this same text for argument's sake, but you would obviously replace this to your business. The thing we want to remember around our graphics is this idea of hierarchy. What is going to stand out first when someone sees this graphic? So for you, you might be thinking, what's going to stand out for someone when they see this graphic? Like when I mentioned at the start, thinking about what's the purpose of this graphic. For me, it's the 3 tips to help someone build a partnership. So building a partnership is what's going to capture someone's attention. So I'm actually going to edit the hierarchy of this graphic a little bit to accommodate that. But first, before I do that, I'm going to update my brand fonts. So for me, I've got some in here. I've got my brand fonts for White Deer. So I'm going to click on that, and that's good to go. So for me, build business partnerships, tips to build business, to build, it's meant to have an S on it. Okay, I'm going to actually copy that out and pop this on 2 different text boxes. That's going to do a few things here. So I'm going to just duplicate that, make another text box here, and then I'll say cut this out. In fact, I'm not even going to have that work text. I think they were starting to get a little bit too busy. This brand element is not mine. This brand element is not mine. Be ruthless with changing out things in your templates that aren't with your brand elements. It doesn't match your branding. So I want build business partnerships to be the biggest piece of text here because that's the biggest piece of hierarchy. And so I'm going to make sure it's nice and big and make sure it's standing out. I'm going to edit that more soon. We've also got these texts here, so I'm not going to forget to change these. So I'm going to highlight those. I'm just pressing, holding down Shift on my keyboard, and it's letting me select more than one thing at a time. Go over here again, go to my brand fonts. I might use Red Hat, or I might use my Termina font because it's not a lot of text. So I'm actually going to just use this one font. I'm going to click on here and just edit this so it's a bit more like that and a bit more like this. And bring that down. Okay, so I'm actually going to, so I could decide if I wanted to leave these boxes here, if I wanted to remove them, because I could totally remove them and just do like white text here. In fact, I kind of like how that feels a lot more open. I'm going to do that for my branding because I'm not doing a lot of text in here. Actually, I think I'm going to even make this text white rather than cream because I don't think that's standing out quite enough. So I'm going to click on this and go to white, and you'll see down here it says this option of change all. If I press change all, it's going to change every piece of cream text to the white color. I'm going to reselect. What have I got going on here? I'm going to delete that again, change these. I'm actually just going to make sure that they're the same. I'm going to pop this here. I'm going to grab this text box and either press this duplicate button or go Alt or /Option on my keyboard and select the text box and move it down. Then I'm going to copy this text and paste it in here, and it's going to pop in that same format for me. I'm going to duplicate it again, write everything. I'm going to make that a little bit longer so it's more consistent. Write everything down to remember. All right, and I'm going to bring these up. Now I'm going to edit these a little bit. So I could leave that cream, or I could play with it a little bit, make it this color. If this wasn't matching up with, so for me, for example, if I'm not updating the actual text in here because that's going to waste your time. But if I wanted to, if this wasn't actually what I needed to represent in my business, I could actually just change this. So I would change this to being maybe a white base here, and I can actually, you can see this little icon here is actually separate. So say for example, I was doing a point that was actually based on painting. I could go to elements here and search paint icon, and I would find something more relevant to me that would fit into this gap. So I might pop this icon here in, pop it over the top of my circle, kind of do it a similar size because I kind of liked how that was looking. Change that to being whatever color I want it to be. I might do purple, or I could do kind of this color. I'm going to do purple for me, and pop that, make sure it's visually centered and have that looking really, really great. And so you can change things as kind of needed. Something else I wanted to make this even more branded for me, for my circles, I often use what's called, it's kind of like a little blur circle. So I'm going to go to my brand elements here. You'll see I've got like these little kind of doodle-luckies here, but I've also got these in different colors. So I could actually select that and make each one of these points kind of have a different colored little circle going on. So that's one way that I can make this design look far more branded and far more unique to me and my business. So I'm actually going to do that now. Just make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to delete that circle and then pop this now, because I've got a color, it looks a bit silly. So I'm going to make this nice and white so it's clear and really consistent and not jarring to the eyeballs. So now I'm going to do that for each one of these. So I'm going to actually delete this square. I'm going to keep these little icons because you don't need to watch me finding lots of different icons. I might make this my blue one, so I can move that down, or I could also duplicate this and kind of replace it with my blue one here. Like so. That means I know that they're going to be the same size. I might grab this one and make it the pink version. So I'm going to grab this icon, make this white, and do the same thing here. So the biggest thing you want to make sure you do as you go through this is just to make sure you're always going back, especially at the end, and neatening things up. So say for example, I'm happy with how this is kind of looking so far. I might actually go, all right, let's drag and select all of these. Then I might go to position and press center. And that's going to just align everything. If you've got great content off, but if I stopped like this is out of alignment. This isn't perfectly centered. There's not really great hierarchy yet. And so you're like, I got halfway there, but I didn't stop to refine everything. So make sure you stop to refine everything once you've gotten most of the way there. I'm going to visually center this just because it looked a little bit off because of the paintbrush here. Move that up a little bit, and then also visually center this. The pen is kind of throwing out the symmetrical look of this. So making sure that if something doesn't look right, even if it's mathematically centered, it might not look right because it's not visually centered in terms of just by eye. People are looking by eye. They're not getting out a ruler for your designs. I'm going to just bring this down a little bit so it's a bit further away. Drag that up. You can see here that there's that little 119 popping up. That's letting me know that each of these text boxes are the same distance apart. That means it's really well aligned. And so I'm just going to bring that to be like so. Make sure these are aligned this way. You can see it's kind of telling me everything's aligned there. All right, so that's my key text done. But what I want to do is bring out build business partnerships and make that a lot larger. So I'm going to highlight all this text, bring it down a little bit. Again, so it's visually centered down there. Then I want this to be ginormous because I want someone, if they're coming to my grid and they can see, oh, I'm interested in building business partnerships, that stands out. I want this to stand out so if someone's scrolling the Instagram, they're not looking at every single post, they're not reading every single post. So how can I make the key text stand out the most? Pop that there. I'm also going to make it stand out even more by adding in some boxes. So this is one way I personally draw text out. You might have a different way of doing it, but for me, I love using these boxes. So I could pop this like some dark text behind here. I could make both of these boxes different colors if I wanted to, or I can just leave them like so. I'm going to leave it nice and simple there and just change the position of that. I just did a keyboard shortcut that was if I go here, you can kind of see backwards and forwards. That's what I was doing there. Or I could move the layers around. If I wanted to bring this up or bring this down, I could do so there. Amazing. You can see how that's just brought build business partnerships is standing out so much more now. I actually think it's a little bit too much. I'm going to make it a touch smaller. I don't want to go too wild with it all. And that's looking really, really lovely. So I could either leave it like that, might make sure it's all centered, bring that down a smidgen. I also want to make sure these text boxes aren't playing with my centeredness. I'm actually going to bring this down so that they're kind of all similar length around there. It's not perfect, but it's kind of not going to mess with the centering too much now. All right, that's looking pretty good. There we go. And then I'm going to add in some more of my brand elements. So my brand is quite full. Your brand might just be able to stop at this, and that's totally okay. But for me, I'm going to go to my brand elements here, maybe whack in a cloud down here, maybe whack in my little mascot, little dude. If you're wanting one of these, I got an illustrator called Petite Pixel to do mine. She was wonderful. Thank you, Tanya. I'll pop that there. Then I'm going to add in my little bubble up here. Send that to being behind so it's not getting in the way of my text. And I've kind of got more of a branded design just like that because I'm really clear on my brand elements. Again, if you're looking for some more help with your branding, head to Seriously Challenge after and have a look at that. Totally free. I'm really proud of it. I hope you love it. All right. that's looking really good. We've got some really clear hierarchy here. We've got some really clear text. We've got really clear branding, all because I started with the base of this template. I'm going to show you the template again just before we finish so you can kind of remember what we did. So I go down here. So that was a template we started with, and this was how I ended up with. I just used it as inspiration and applied my branding, my needs, my hierarchy, my ideas to it to make it my own. Once I'm finished, I just press share, download, and then you can either save it as a PNG or in a JPEG, but I think a PNG is totally fine. You don't need to worry about making it transparent. Just select the right page that you want. So I'm going to unselect all pages and just select the one page here, page 1, download. And so then I usually just send that to my phone, or I can post it straight from my Instagram via the Meta app or via the Instagram app and have my captions and add everything in there. And so I hope that's been really helpful for you. This is obviously just one style of post, but hopefully you can apply this same content and ideas to testimonial posts or any kind of text-based posts. Don't put too much text on it. Make sure it's really clear on the grid. Make sure it looks really beautiful. Make sure it looks really branded, and make sure you just always go back and double check that everything's properly aligned, that everything's the same kind of size, and it's all really clear and beautiful. Thank you for watching. And again, if you want some more help with your branding and your business, head to DIYdesignmybiz.com/seriously challenge, and you can watch a free 3-part video series there straight away. It's all accessible for you right away. It's really well produced, really great content, and really actionable for you to take steps right now for your business. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for another video very soon.